Hi there, this is Bear and this is my partner Shion, and we're going to have a chat about the Flumies.
Yeah, which we love talking about Flumies. We do.
We're delighted to be here at Gongs Unlimited to share our passion.
So we thought we'd start with the greatest problem people have with the Flumies is that the head comes off. This is the head. We have found unequivocally that the main cause for heads coming off is the player is using too much pressure. And that speaks of how we play Gong. And I think it's quite difficult for any of us to take on board that maybe we use too much pressure because the pressure comes from within. The whole idea about Flumie playing is allowing the sound to arise rather than making it happen. That's really crucial. And so where we're coming from when we play Flumies needs to be a still place from within. And Bear always talks about open heart, empty mind.
So the mind isn't thinking, it's not evaluating or interpreting anything. It's open, it's empty of ideas, and the heart is open. And the heart is open to inspiration. If we make a space within us, then our inner intelligence can inform us.
The empty mind, the mind is also void of any ideas about the kind of sounds that we're wanting to create, because that's not really what we're doing. That's not to say that we don't have a particular idea about certain kind of strokes, maybe with the Flumie or even with the mallet, that we feel comfortable with to play on a particular gong with, and we know we get some sort of result. But even so, each time we approach the gong, we need to approach it completely afresh, because our attitude is one of curiosity, one of awe, almost one of
wonder.
That's great. I like that. Yes, an attitude of wonder. It's like, wow. And I think in that way also, often when we play, we might, I think, have a tendency to find something that's wonderful here, and we say, oh, that's great. What about over here? What about over there? And that's all wonderful. But I think it's nice to play something and then just go, oh, wow, that's really interesting. Let me explore that a little bit more, and to really show a curiosity and engage with the sound such as it presents itself. Another really important thing is our posture, and also that we have an understanding that this is not, I am not here, and here is my Flumie, and there is the gong. We kind of, we're a unity. We sort of belong together, and also to make our body part of that sound vessel, So when Bear demonstrates to play the Flumie, it's always like the elbow, we follow the tail, the elbow leads the movement. But when that happens, also when I move with my elbow, can you see my shoulder blade opens up? Those are my wings, So this is the kind of the acoustic space of which I'm a part of. So it's really important to find a very, very comfortable position, whether you're standing or sitting or kneeling, but that you're in the right, maybe you show that a little bit more, that you're really in the right distance from the gong. And it's quite easy to see when you're not in the right position.
Yeah.
And to become...
Well, you can be the gong, look. You can be the gong.
I'll be the gong.
I'll play your wings.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be too far away, and I don't want to be too close. I want to be in a comfortable place. And my knees are a little bit bent here too. And it's following the tail. If I want to change direction and go down, the tail moves first, and I want to go that way, the tail moves first. Very gentle.
And there's always space under the armpits too. So when we play, this is the movement. The shoulders don't come up because the movement comes from the elbow. So all this remains completely relaxed. And, allow that open space. Anybody who practices Tai Chi or also yoga, we don't particularly recommend to do one thing or another. We teach a type of some forms of exercises. And if any of you know the movement called cloud hands in the Tai Chi tradition, that's a really good practice to practice when you want to play Flumies and get quite loose with your upper body. It's not supposed to say that your lower body's supposed to be stiff, but you know, this is open. This is really open. I think another interesting thing is to choose which Flumie with which gong.
Yeah, that's a big thing. 'Cause people ask me, they said, look, you know, I bought a number 10 for my gong and it doesn't work. And I said, well, what size is it? Oh, it's 26 inches. Well, it's not going to work. So there is a relationship between the size of the Flumie and the gong that you want to play on. For instance, a 32-inch gong, a lot of people get that because it's a great gong. There's a lot of range. So the number 4 is going to work on there really well. And the lowest one, well, it could be, I would say, a number 8. That would be the lowest, deepest sound as a rule of thumb. If you've got something like a 30-inch gong, maybe it's a 7 or a 7.5. And then it goes down to, if you've got a 26-inch or 28-inch gong, could be a 6.5 or something. Not to be in a rush for the sound is really important, you know. And I think playing Flumies for me is like telling a story, and it's fairly quiet at the beginning, you know, and people will lean in and listen.
And often when you start playing with your Flumie, you don't hear anything, maybe, to start with, but you know that the sound is already there, and of course it is there, you know. It doesn't start here and end there. It starts from infinity, it ends in infinity. And as much as you can invite your audience in that experience, it really will allow them to go much deeper within inside of themselves, as it will within you. I think that's a really important thing to always bear in mind in any sound journey, and especially playing Flumies, because sometimes you might have some odd sounds that may occur. And I think what's really important is to welcome them and to find a gentle way inside of yourself to be totally at ease and totally comfortable with whatever sound arises. Because when you're okay, or if you're okay, then your audience will be too. But it's like allowing space, allowing an awful lot of space for the sound, and what's happening in between also. In the yoga tradition, I think they talk about a space called kumbhaka, which is a space between the in and the out breath. And it's very much the same as the space between the sound. That's just as important as the sound. It's where stuff arises, it's where wisdom arises, it's where healing arises, it's where transformation arises. And it's so important that we, as sound healers, as Flumie players, that we make space for that. You know, we set the stage, really, don't we?
So playing gong for us is an inner practice, and the space that you feel inside you is reflected in the sounds, and those sounds, they come from within. Give space. Let the inner beauty sing and share that with the world.
We kind of find also that, especially within, dare I say, the Flumie community, I could like to call it we belong to a sort of a family in the stars that we all recognize, because these sounds that arise from the playing of the gongs, they're from a primordial place that we all recognize, rather than sounds that we think we should make. We couldn't begin to try and do that. But it is a great honor to share this practice with all the beautiful people that we meet on the way. And today we're here at Gongs Unlimited, and Andrew is hosting us and his beautiful colleagues, and we're really happy to be here. And we wish you so very, very well on your journey with the Flumies, with the beloved professional Flumies, because it's a beautiful journey, it's a graceful journey, it's an enriching journey, it's a healing journey, it's a journey that brings peace, and that is what we all really want to promote as much as possible today on this beautiful earth. Many blessings to you all, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wishing you a beautiful life.